Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the high-grade Build Fighters Super Fumina Axis Angel version. So, our journey through tropes of Japan continues after we took a look at the RG Astray gold frame, which was all that like black and red and gold and ninja style Japanese weapons and all of that. And then now we're looking at the very interesting, cute anime girl figure model kit with cleavage and angel wings. And yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? But I do have to say, I do actually think I prefer this version more than the original. I think that the Cubile parts that are added onto the body, like the skirt armor, front and back skirt armor, the parts added to the front of the feet, front of the ankle guards, and on the shoulders and forearms, just that Cubile styling, I think, fits a lot better to the overall style of just like having a model kit girl. Just the shapes and the design, I think, just fit better. The wings, I'm kind of like, meh. Yeah, I mean, they're angel wings. They're kind of silly, but yeah, they're not bad either, actually. They're also, I mean, I think I would have preferred if those were just styled like Cubile binders, if they were just flat instead of like angel wings. But I think something that you maybe could try is maybe just doing a little bit of modification. Get like even just like the old HD, or even like the really super old, just like 80s kit of a Cubile, and then just use the binders from that, and then just like scrap the rest of it. If you really wanted to do something like that, I think would actually look pretty cool to just use Cubile binders there instead of the angel wings. But anyway, just have to say, I do actually like this kit. It's actually much better, in my opinion, than the original. It is kind of a shame to be missing like the shields and the guns, the cannons and stuff. It all has that definitely like more heavily armed look to it. The original one did, but this one I think just overall fits better for the styling. Still, I think the proportions are not really right, especially in the legs. I think whenever I get around to actually painting one of these, I will definitely be modifying the legs, just the proportions of those. One thing I think I will also do is probably just use putty and just fill in the knees and just make it just the legs in just like one fixed pose, just so that there's no actual joint there in the knee, so it looks like just a like full like human leg. Anyway, don't want to get too much into that. Let's focus on the review, shall we? So this kit does also have a lot of stickers, and the articulation is overall pretty good. And so I just want to show you a couple things here. First off, here's that sticker sheet once again. So yeah, there are quite a lot of stickers to put on. Most of them are pretty simple color apps to paint when you go to paint this. We have a whole bunch of different eye stickers. Some of them are like looking off to the left, looking off to the right. I just opted for just some centered ones, and then these are all the ones that are going on the wool suit. Interestingly, despite having all of those stickers, there's no stickers for the black eyes for like the Cubile head on the top of her head thing. So if you look here on the menu, like the box art, see that they're supposed to be black for the eyes there, and no sticker for those. I mean, obviously that's something you can very easily just paint in, but I just figured that would have been something that they would have given you stickers for, considering we have little pink stickers for these little indents here on the shoulders, the wings, pink sticker here on the forearm, pink sticker here on the front and back skirts, pink sticker here on the ankles there. So we have all these little pink stickers and then no black stickers for there, so it's a little bit odd. And yeah, so I used just some straight on eye stickers for that. You do have a couple different options for the eye part. You have one like this one where it's gonna be kind of hard to see on camera, but it's just perfectly flat. So like, I guess this would be the one better for sticking the sticker on, because the actual eyeballs are just flat. Then you have this one, which is the detailed one. Again, I'm not sure how well you guys can see this on camera. I think that's the best I can do for you. Hopefully you're seeing that well enough. But all the details molded in there, so painting that will be really easy. That's nice. And then there's another one that's like just like this, and I couldn't really tell exactly what's the difference between them. But I used the other one that was also detailed in here, just stuck the sticker over it. But anyway, so the head is all there. We have a sticker then for the ear too, which is kind of silly. Not really all that noticeable, but if you look at it, it is definitely noticeable. Stickers here for these like kind of clasps here on the top of the chest that just fits over that. White sticker with the black stripe that wraps around the center here. And let's see what else. And then stickers here for the thighs. That's just all one white piece, and then you stick these pink, very large pink stickers around on the thighs. Another like darker pink stripe there around there. For the panties, you have 3 big stickers covering there. One that like wraps around the side. Let me just take off this side skirt so you can see that more. There you go. 1 pink sticker on each side, and then 1 pink sticker for the center that wraps around to the back. The soft plastic piece was something that I did not like about the original kit. Had a lot of stuff, well, not a lot, but a few more soft plastic parts. This one only has 1. It's here in the center. Really don't think that that really needed to be a soft plastic piece. It's going to be hard to paint and very easily chipped if you bend it the wrong way. These side skirts plug into that soft plastic piece, so they have a tendency to kind of come out kind of easily if you touch them in the wrong way. So you have to be a little bit careful of that. The side skirts are very similar to the original kits in their styling, but just a little bit different. Overall, for the most part, most everything is pretty much the same. Most everything is pretty much the same, but there are definitely some new features added to the overall design. And yeah, so it does come with some stuff. Let's take a look at the wings too, because these are like a big new part. One other thing that's also new, you can actually remove the beam saber handles here in the shoulders. So those are just easily removed, and you can use those in the hands. These shoulder armor parts can move around quite nicely, actually. The whole arms can move pretty well as well. You have, of course, a nice bend here in the elbow, giving you a pretty full bend there. And then the arms can go out like so. The head can't look up that far. You kind of have to turn the hair a little bit, move that out of the way. And the head can only really look up to there, which is not too much, and down to there, which is not bad. Here in the waist, there's like it rotates there in the waist, and it seems like there'd be some articulation there, but not really. And then of course the legs just bend there, rotate, bend at the knee like that. And then the ankles have articulation, but the polycaps used in the ankle is so weird, and they're just not good. I guess they're like the same ankle polycaps that they use in like the Star Wars kits, and they just don't work well. You basically can't move the ankles at all. It moves, but then it just like is not actually moved. So you can rotate the feet, and you have some nice detail underneath the feet, but in terms of ankle articulation, it's kind of shit. So that's disappointing, but that was like that on the original kit as well. So yeah, going back to the wings then. So one of the ports here, which is on the side of the backpack, which was used on the original kit, is now covered up by that piece there. And the wings will move here, they'll rotate like this, and they move up and down like this, and then they can open out like that, and then you can have those open up, and you can do a lot of different stuff with these. And the wings basically just move pretty much here and there and everywhere you could possibly want those to move. They're actually attached. Their final attachment, where they're like this actual wing part is attached to the mechanical stuff going on inside here, is by a ball joint. And I realize that's just a lot of very bright white stuff. It's going to be kind of hard for you guys to see that very clearly. But anyway, my point is that there's a lot of articulation here in the wings. You can pretty much move them pretty much wherever you would want them to be. So that is pretty good. You also notice there are some attachment points in there. That is for attaching the stick weapon. So another thing that we get that I haven't actually used yet is these clear pieces that you can fit over the eye. That's just to give them a more like lifelike look. However lifelike you could possibly be with a face like that. But anyway, I'll just stick those on like once the kit is totally finished. We do also have our 2 clear yellow beam saber effect parts, which are for the 2 beam sabers stored in the shoulders there. These are like the shorter ones, so not really long, but I think that's nice. They'll look pretty good. And then instead of the open hands, which you saw in the kit, we do also have a set of holding hands. So one of them I already have attached on here onto the staff, and then the one I just have here. And so the holding hands are just really simple, basic. The staff can actually be broken up into 2 pieces, and you can hold them separately. It was kind of odd that the peg where you have to cut this off the runner, the peg is at the end here, where that is just supposed to be just the end of this thing. Would have been nice if the peg was, the gate was not there, so that this could actually be like a molded detail of like an actual barrel at the end of there. It wouldn't be really hard to just drill that out with a drill, but for those of you guys who don't have a drill, you'll just have a flat end of that instead of an actual like barrel hole. So anyway, just have the hand on here. It's really simple to swap out the hand. And there you go. I quite like that weapon a lot. Again, I think it fits the overall look and design of the kit really well. So this kit I feel like is just, even though it's kind of weird because even it seems like it's just a cash grab and it's just like an afterthought, like, let's try to make another version of the Super Fumina because it sells well. But on the other hand, this one actually does seem like it's more thoughtfully designed in terms of its just kind of aesthetic value. So I don't know, that could just be me, but that's what I think about it. We do also have a bunch of leftover parts, and so there's a few of them that I will point out to you as kind of more notable ones. First one being the original beam saber handles. So if you wanted to use these instead, they're just shaped a little bit differently. You can still take them out and use them. They should work exactly the same, but just the style of them is a little bit different. They have like an extra little pointed bit here. So you could use those if you want. We do have the trigger finger hand for the right hand. No guns to hold, so nothing really to do with this kit. But if you did want to make this custom and give this a gun or something, you do have a trigger finger hand that you could use for that. We also have these are supposed to kind of hold the Gatling guns in the forearms, which the powered GM has, but or the GM powered that Build Fighters kit has, but these you can actually use on the kit if you want. You could just I haven't, as you'll notice, I haven't removed the nubs on them, so they're still looking a little bit unclean, but you can just switch those out on the arms if you wanted. So maybe like one of each or something like that you could do if you want, or just keep these and add them to a different kit, because as they are pretty useful. You could very easily just modify these to add them to some kit. Just paint them, obviously, because they're pink. Same thing goes for these little shields too. So we have the two shields here, and they're just in pink and white, of course, but on the back we have like all the nice detail there, and it's just a peg hole, so really simple for you to do some modification to be able to actually use these on a kit. So these are really nice leftover parts that you could definitely keep for doing some customizing for something else. Now, of course, the other accessory that we get for this kit is the base that it's standing on, and so the reason that I had this standing on the base from the start is because it pretty much is not going to stand up on its own, unfortunately. Again, I'm sure if you did some fiddling with it and did some sort of like action pose standing, you might maybe be able to get it to stand on its own, but aside from it just being back heavy, it's just very tall for one, so it's top heavy, and it's back heavy due to the wings on the back, and it's also just the fault of it being really small feet and really terrible ankles. Like I said, the ankles are just really crap, and so getting this kit to stand up on its own, I feel like, is not going to be an easy feat without just basically just modifying it in some way. So just straight out of the box, probably not going to happen. But we got the base, so it's all good. The base just plugs into the underside, just the bottom of the backpack, and it's quite useful. I think you can actually change the angle of that a little bit. You have a couple different angle options. It's not like totally able like an action base or something. So if you use an action base, you will have to use, like if you use an action base 2, which is meant for 1/44 scale kits, you'll have to like really extend that out because it actually needs to plug in like pretty high up on the kit. So it's like to plug into the base of the backpack there, which is pretty high up. So compared to a normal 1/44 scale kit, here you can see that this is actually going to be quite tall. I mean, obviously it's up off the ground, whereas the local type Gundam there is actually standing flat, but you can still just tell it is going to be quite a size difference in it. The Super Fumina is really going to be more similar in size to a master grade kit just overall. So it is quite large, so 2,200 yen for the list price for this, I think, is justified. I mean, there is quite a bit of plastic in there. It is a really quite unique design, and it doesn't really have all that many weapons or accessories and stuff. It has the beam sabers and it has like the funnel staff, but I think the 2,200 yen price tag, I think, is kind of fine. Maybe it could have been 2,000 yen, but it is a big kit is what I want to say. Aside from just like the normal things that you could very easily complain about this kit, like just the stickers, and there are some seam lines here and there, like on the knees, the legs have some seam lines on there, and just kind of normal things that you could complain about for a typical HG kit. I think probably my biggest complaint about this kit is that if Bandai was going to go to the effort of doing a kit like this in this style, which they really hadn't really done before the Super Fumina, It's really kind of just ridiculous that they wouldn't go through the trouble of giving you more than one face option. That's been one of the people's, like, one of the most common complaints that I've seen about this kit is that the face looks dead and blank, and people don't like how the face looks. It looks totally emotionless. And yeah, I mean, personally the face doesn't really bother me that much, but it would be so much better if they just gave you at least one other option for the face. Like, make it like the Kotobukiya frame arms girls kits have a couple different options for that, and it's just something that, yeah, Bandai just really missed on that. And you know, if it was a matter of just plastic or making the kit more expensive or something, I'm sure this kit would have been appealing to more people if it would have had more than one face option in it. So I really don't think that would have been a huge loss on Bandai's part. And here, as I attempt to recreate one of the poses shown in the manual, because I thought it's kind of interesting how you can move the wings around to make this sort of like heart-shaped shield almost, and it's kind of cool, I guess. And one thing that I wanted to be sure to show you guys was how you can set the kind of two halves of the staff there, the funnel sticks, they're into the wings. There's actually 3 different attachment points on each wing, so there's actually 12 different options there on the wings, and then there's actually 3 attachment points under the back skirt as well, which looks really weird. I think it just doesn't really work. Tried it and it just looks too odd. But so yeah, among the 15 different attachment points that you have, and then you only have 2 stabs. I don't really think that we should have got 15 of them, but I think it definitely would have been cool to have like 2 full stabs, so like, and then when you split them in half, it'd actually be like 4 parts. I think that would have actually really been cool, because then if you're like wanting to pose this in a similar kind of pose like this, where you have the 2 wings back and have 2 of the sticks on each side, it would make for some cool poses, I think. And they almost look like sort of effect parts, like the funnels are shooting out of the wings sort of, so you could kind of like pretend that like kind of that's what's going on as well. So anyway, it's a kind of cool thing, and it's cool that they built in places where you could store those on the kit, so they wouldn't just have to be handheld. I think the way they did that is pretty cool, just like the little heart-shaped mounting places there on the inside of the wings and the inside of the back skirt. So that's kind of cool. One last thing I guess I should talk about, because this was something that I definitely noted in the unboxing, was that I'm not a fan of that like pearl white plastic. I usually always hate it anytime Bandai uses that, because it just doesn't look good. I'm looking at you, Gundam Build Fighters, Crossbone Gundam. But anyway, in this case, I'm actually fine with it. I think it actually works fine, and like I said, that just is another contributing factor to what makes me think that this kit was actually much better aesthetically thought out as a kit. And in any other circumstance, I really hate that gloss white plastic, but in this case, I'm totally fine with it. I think it works well with the design. It works just overall well for the overall aesthetic. One thing that I would say that I would recommend you guys do is panel line this. Obviously, I haven't panel lined it, as I most usually never do for these out-of-box reviews, just so that you guys can see exactly what you're going to get out of the box, of course. But like how they show it in the manual, where I'm pretty sure that that's just the bare plastic, that it's not painted and it's just panel lined. Just to give you another look at that, yeah, like this here, this I'm pretty sure is that white part is not actually painted, but you can see how just adding the panel lines helps to add a little bit of definition in there, like here on the arms, just a little bit more detail there, and just even on these pink parts as well. So with it being just a very light colored kit, it's just gonna look kind of a wash of just this really light pink and cream color, but doing a little panel lining should help quite a bit. So that's pretty much it for my review of this. I'm actually quite pleased with this kit. It'll definitely look a lot better with some paint on it, for sure. A little bit of proportion changes, I think, for me personally. That's just up to you. Overall, is it worth it? I would say, yeah, if you think that it looks pretty cool. I think the Cubile look for the Super Fumina was a really great choice, and it works for me. So that's it. If you guys still have any other questions or comments, though, of course, you can leave those down below. As always, thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit to share with you guys. Really happy with this. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.